Welcome to your magic moon message, Moon in Leo. Roar! That was a sun roar. That was a weak ass sun roar. Hold on. Roar! That was more stylish and artsy. Yes. The moon is in Leo, y'all. And the sun is in Taurus, which is so mind-blowing because my body was literally led to here for no reason. And what I'm saying that is, I was going to say that this is a transit of energy, right? Energico, okay? Leo is solar sun energy. Roar! You just gotta hit, a couple sun roars for the day. Look around, see who's seeing you. But a true sun roar doesn't care who sees them sun roar, like if you were actually a Leo. So Leo is solar energy and Taurus is natural energy, okay? Leo is like super strength. It's actually the first of two super strengths. So Leo is super strength and Scorpio is super strength. But Scorpio is more of that kinky bondage super strength that has you last in chaotic situations. And Leo is like the inspirational kid movie super strength that has you push through situations you need courage for. One is nighttime and naughty, and the other is daytime and inspirational, although both of them could definitely be naughty. And Leo is basically like a spicy Scorpio, or Leo is like a spicy Aries. You know what? Never mind. But other than that, congrats. We are integrating this Taurus cycle. So, infinity, baby. We manifested through the new moon this activation of natural quality. All right. This activated the final installation of this instant manifestation protocol, I would say since 2018, when Uranus entered Taurus. The synchronicities a lot that represent my alignment within have exponentially increased since that year, and I know the same is for you. My awareness of what I intend and what happens shortly after is much quicker. Something we've always had since birth, but it once again just noticing a lot more strongly, right? So the new moon in Taurus activated this natural quality. It re-updated your self-esteem, your values that you stand on, right? And once again, the most important thing about this Taurus season is for you to not establish values on shifting stand. It's for you to not establish values that are fugazi and bullshit. The dark side of Taurus, of the bull, is getting in on bullshit. But the true form of Taurus is the Midas touch. They everything they touch, they bring value to. And that's because, as stubborn as they are, they actually stand on, real values that, not everyone might believe, but they're not going to be playing both sides like Gemini. But they're definitely going to at least stand on it and not try and be indecisive like, some Libras. No, I'm joking. Anyway, that being said, we manifested the true understanding of this value with the moon in Gemini. Then the moon in Cancer helped us activate psychically the feeling of manifestation, the feeling of our worth. What is the feeling of our value? What is this more emotionally intelligent understanding of how to express our value now that we understand the true nature of it through Gemini, so we don't even need as much words, if any. So Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, individual zodiac signs. Now that we are integrating that 90-degree angle into Leo, Leo is the first of 4 social signs, the supers, super strength. This is why Cancer has Leo in their second house. Leo is super strength, Cancer has super strength. Third most powerful zodiac sign in the zodiac. Keep sleeping on them if you want to. They're still statistically the most likely to murder you. Okay, so leave Cancer alone. And You about to level up, Cancer. Your birthday coming soon. Okay, that being said, statistically, most likely to murder you. Do the stats. Do the stats. It's not even like premeditated murder. They just got angry in the moment. Leave these people alone. They really good people. Just stop trying to push them. Anyway, that being said, Jesus Christ, yes. We are socially integrating this natural value. And what's going to happen is the moon's going to go into Virgo. And one of the dopest parts, if you're an earth sign, I'm an air sign, but I have a lot of earth energy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like the spirit of a Gemini that possessed a bull. This is what Chris Witecki told me like a decade ago. I like that analogy. But that being said, we're going to take our value, Taurus, right? This is like your product, your service, and we're going to take it to the market. The market is Virgo, where we mutably buy and sell. You know what I'm saying? It all goes down in the market. All right, that's where you haggle your prices. I didn't even know you can do that until a Virgo moon, my father, took me to the market. And then that's when I learned Virgos are masters of haggling. Like Virgo's gonna get the price they want, trust me. But we're not there yet. That's gonna be in a couple of days. We are in Leo. So Leo is the courageous foundation with which you integrate your natural value. If Taurus is the producer, Leo is the stage that the producer paid for or built so that the main character can perform on that stage. So Leo represents this creative foundation with which your own natural value can rest in courage. And without using so many words, you've individually activated these individual values. What courage are you going to integrate these values as you socially interface them, as you socially integrate them? You know, this is going to challenge with this square how confident you are about yourself and what you're worth, and how willing you are to challenge yourself to express that, or at least stand on that. Because the moon is transiting Mars in Leo. Mars in Leo, of course, is the Seven of Wands in Tarot, which is asking you to not be to stand your ground and to not back down, right? Don't necessarily, and it's cool because especially with the Mars retrograde, some of you may have backed down. Some of you may have not had the facts because Mars didn't go into Virgo yet. And some people inadvertently or directly try to gaslight you and act like you don't know what you were talking about, even though you know what you saw and you know what you think, you know, you really have an idea, but maybe you didn't have the facts. So you felt like maybe I am wrong. And the Mars in Leo with the return is going to remind you, you never had to back down. Even if you did during the retrograde, you can still stand back up for what it is you know, you think, you feel. The details will come when Mars goes into Virgo. So the moon on Mars in Leo is not only reestablishing this 28-day cycle of understanding how witted you are, how much courage you understand you're willing to stand on your values, what actions you're ready to take ahead of time before the sun in August makes you aware of these actions, but it's also preparing you for war. Now, the moon is opposite Pluto. I wish I was joking. The moon is opposite Pluto Aquarius, which is harvesting 2 weeks ago, the moon on Pluto. So this is going to, through Taurus, in adjusting your foundation and more so your natural value. Now you're going socially on stage to kind of be like, hey, this is what I'm worth. Take it or leave it. I don't even care if you like it. You better believe it. Believer. I'm a like Bieber, the Pisces Reaper. Y'all understand what I'm doing because it's ether. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm probably saying dumbass shit, but I have the courage to say it. And I'm interfacing it socially in this gas station. Roar! Like, I don't give a fuck how crazy I look. And that's where the square to Uranus and Taurus will help you integrate your own natural eccentricities and idiosyncrasies. Translation, it's going to be awkward AF. So don't be afraid of coming off as awkward or weird AF. In fact, try and balance it as best as you can. I think Lilith is still in Scorpio, which is really good for sexy time. If some of you are in a position to be erotic with those you trust, or to open yourself up to erotic experiences now that you've established what you're worth, so you know you can't be finessed, bought, or just played with unless you go against what you know you're worth, then you can open up, negotiate. Okay, I'm saying too much. That being said, with the moon in Leo, this is going to prepare for this sense of balance so that when we go to the market, you don't undersell yourself or you don't get finessed, bro. People get finessed in the market all the time. So if you have the courage to stand for what you're worth, then when we go in the moon in Virgo and we start to haggle for our value, you're gonna stand on what you're current. When someone says, no, these shoes are $200, take it or leave it. Or these shoes aren't worth $300, I'm not buying it. You're gonna be like, peace, bitch. And they're gonna be like, wait, come back. Boom. And if they don't, you know what to do. So I'm gonna cut this short right here. The moon in Leo is gonna trine Venus. That's conjuncted Neptune. So this brand new cycle of love and romance, but interpersonal relationships is very important, because what this actually encompasses is a brand new Venusian cycle over Neptune and Aries. And it's going to really change the game, or rather change the nature of how you have dissolved certain aspects of your ego and how authentically you express that. Now, Venus is in its detriment here in Aries, which is actually a good thing relative to this cycle's transit, because it's going to strip bare how it is you relate with others, only down to its core raw elements, which is going to make it a lot harder to try and put on a mask or to front with your ego. It's going to really influence the nature of relationships moving forward. And with Mars trining it in Venus and in Leo, this is going to strengthen the courage of how much more boldly you can express elements of your authenticity, which will be raw, it will be unfiltered. It's not in Libra, so you don't have to worry about presentation as much as just being poorly raw. And that might keep you savage. Take responsibility for the consequences. But just, it's better to be authentic here, especially with the trine of Chiron that's going to draw on these ego vulnerabilities. We talked about the square to Taurus, and the sextile to Gemini is going to expand on your vocabulary and how you're actively expanding your mindset before, Jupiter eventually goes into Cancer. So yeah, that's what to expect. The seeds you planted during the new moon are growing through the ground. And as they grow through the ground with this super strength, courageous quality, it's going to prepare for you to fully express the behavior and how you change your behavior around your worth when we take it to the market and go into Virgo. And then you're going to start to understand how rich you are, how wealthy you've built and activated this value up, how it applies. But for now, really find that courage within. You'll feel supernatural energy with the opposition of Pluto. Challenge how you are either folding through the pressure or breaking through the pressure. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.